Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to dig into this powerful ancient story that, believe it or not, gives us a timeless blueprint for how any community can build a really vibrant future without, totally erasing its past. So let's kick things off with a challenge that every single one of us faces, right? Whether it's in our own families, our jobs, or even our countries. It's this delicate balancing act between honoring where we came from and then boldly moving toward where we need to go. Our story today comes from the book of Joshua. And it really zeroes in on this pivotal, defining moment for the second generation of Israelites as they are literally standing on the brink of their destiny. I mean, can you just imagine the pressure on this new generation? They've spent their whole lives hearing these epic stories about their parents, the miraculous escape from Egypt, the parting of the Red Sea. But now, it's their turn. They're facing their own river, their own defining test. And they do it. The waters of the Jordan River part, and the whole nation walks across on dry ground. They've made it. They're in the promised land. You can almost feel this huge collective sigh of relief. The hard part, it seems, is finally over. Okay, so this is where it gets really interesting. Because right at this moment of triumph, just when they're ready to march forward, God gives Joshua this very peculiar instruction. It's not about conquering the new land. Not yet, anyway. It's about remembering. The command is basically this: go back. Go back into the middle of the river you just crossed. Have a leader from each of the 12 tribes pick up a big stone. Carry those stones out and build a monument with them. But then, and this is the part that makes you scratch your head, take another 12 stones and build a second monument right there, in the middle of the riverbed. One memorial everyone will see, and one that's about to be completely hidden by the water. So you gotta ask, why two? This is where the story just unlocks this brilliant model for how we should think about our own history. The symbolism behind these two separate sets of stones, it's incredibly profound. And this table just lays it out perfectly. The visible memorial, the one at the campsite, that represents the public stories we tell, our wins, our identity, the lessons we want to pass down. But that hidden memorial, the one in the river, that represents the foundational past. It's the anchor you stand on. The sacrifices that got you here, even when you can't see it in your day-to-day life. And the whole point of that big, visible pile of rocks was to be a conversation starter. It was literally designed to make the next generation of kids point and ask, "Hey, Dad, Mom, what's with the stones?" It's a built-in guarantee that the story of the crossing would never, ever be forgotten. Okay, so let's dig into how this model builds something more than just a monument. It builds a living, breathing dialogue between the past, the present, and the future. You see, this was never about creating two totally separate histories. Nope. Instead, they represent this dynamic relationship. The past gives you the firm footing you need for the present, and the present looks back to honor the sacrifices that made it all possible. This whole framework creates what you might call an all-generation community. It's not a top-down thing where one generation just lectures the other. The goal is to blur those lines between who's leading and who's following, and to create this space built on mutual respect, where the wisdom of experience and the energy of the future can actually meet. But for that connection to be real, to be truly meaningful, the story can't just be a highlight reel of all the good stuff. The older generation has a real responsibility to share the struggles, the moments of doubt, the failures, and the faith that got them through. That kind of vulnerability is what makes their wisdom relatable and, honestly, a lot more powerful. All right, this brings us to the core principle, the absolute heart of it all, the ultimate takeaway from this ancient blueprint on how to honor the past while you're busy building the future. Think about those hidden stones back in the river. They're your solid foundation. But when the river's waters rush back in, those stones get submerged. They're still there, absolutely, providing stability, but they don't block the river's path forward. And that is the key. Our past is the foundation we stand on, not a cage we have to live inside. So this model gives us a really clear rhythm for progress. It's a two-step. First, you look back. You learn from and you acknowledge those foundational sacrifices, those hidden river stones that got you here. Then, inspired and stabilized by that foundation, you turn forward to boldly build your own monuments, your own future. And in the end, this whole big act of remembrance wasn't just for them. It wasn't just some internal community project. It was meant to be a testament to the entire world, a story of strength and purpose that would ripple out way beyond their own borders. And that leaves us with a final question to really think about. In our own lives, our families, our companies, what are our visible stones? What are the stories we tell over and over? And maybe just as importantly, what are the silent foundational sacrifices that we're standing on every single day? Recognizing both, well, that's the key to really moving forward.